Today guys, we're going to be out at Lake Wichita. We're going to be fishing 3 different spots here at this lake. It is also a Red River Basin lake. This lake was impounded in 1901. It is located on the south side of Wichita Falls, Texas in Wichita County. The surface area of this lake is 1,224 acres with a max depth of 9.5 foot. The fish species in this lake is largemouth bass, channel catfish, blue catfish, white hybrid bass, sunfish, carp, gar, shad, freshwater drum, and yellow bullheads. Alright, today we're first going to be starting out over on the northwest side of Lake Wichita at Lake Wichita Park. And I'm going to be using a shad as you see here. And then I also will be using night crawlers and minnows also. Alright, we got our first fish on the line here, out here at Lake Wichita Park, and we're going to get this thing reeled in and see what we got. Alright, the first fish we caught right here is a yellow bullhead, also called a mudcat in Texas. I personally do not keep these things and eat them. There are better cats out there to eat than these mudcats, so I just like to toss these guys right on back. Alright, we got our second fish coming in now, and it's going to be another yellow bullhead. I'm using a night crawler on this pole that I keep catching these guys on, so these are fun to catch, but like I said, I don't like to keep these guys, so I just toss them right on back. Alright, we done caught our third fish, and actually we caught another species right now. This is going to be a little sunfish. Here in Texas, everyone likes to call them perch, and they are great catfish bait. Alright, we done caught our third species out here at Lake Wichita, and this one's going to be a little channel cat. Now, these are good to eat, but this one's just a little too small, so we're going to toss him on back because we do have regulations on these guys in Texas, so he's just not quite big enough. Alright, I finally had something hit on my crappie bowl right here. We're going to get it in, and hopefully it's a crappie. Sure enough, that is a white crappie that we just caught, so that's species number 4 now. Alright, with crappie in Texas, they gotta be at least 10 inches long, and this one sure is, so we're gonna keep her and throw her on the stringer and see what else we can catch as it's starting to get dark on us. Alright, we done caught us another little bullhead. As you see, there's plenty of those guys in this lake right here on this part, so I think we're about to move spots as it's getting dark on us, and we're going to go on over to the boat ramp. Alright, so we're on the boat ramp dock now fishing, and we got our first fish. Hopefully this is a crappie, that's why I moved over here and I'm fishing up in these cattails, and sure enough, I caught me a little white crappie, and this one looks big enough to keep, so we're gonna get it off the hook and keep it. Why We got another pole going off down here, and we're about to see what's on this one. Alright, so we caught us another crappie, and this one's a keeper also, so we're going to keep on fishing until the sun comes on up and see what we keep catching over here on this boat ramp. Alright, caught us a nice little channel cat right here. This one's actually a keeper, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one off the hook. And I don't know how I got this guy in, because as you see, he is barely hooked on there. Alright, for the third spot we're going to be fishing is on top of the spillway. As you see, it's rain. This thing is running great. This is one of my favorite spots to fish out here at Lake Wichita, especially after that rain. Alright y'all, this is why this is one of my favorite spots to fish out here, is because you see, we already got a fish and we haven't even been out here that long, so, and this is a pretty good size one. I can tell by the way it's fighting me as I'm reeling it in, so we're about to see what we caught and how big it's going to be. Alright guys, we done caught us a pretty good sized channel cat right here, probably about a 2-3 pounder. This is why I love fishing up on top of here, because I can catch big cats all day, and I'm reeling in another one right now. Like, I had 2 poles going. That one had a worm on it. This one had a shad on it, and another good sized channel cat. So this spot is hot, especially when that spillway's running. Alright, so we got us another fish. This one is fighting really, really hard, and I know this is not a cat just by the way this thing is fighting. And sure enough, this is actually going to be a carp that we caught, which is... So, I'm going to keep this guy just because I can cut him up and use him as bait for later on. Alright guys, so Lake Wichita did us pretty well. We caught 5 different species out here on this lake, and then the top of this spillway treated us pretty good. As you see all these big casts that's on that stringer that we're going to take home and clean and eat. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, and come back and check me out for the next lake we go to.